Hi everybody, thanks for joining us today. Just a reminder, if you don't want to have your video on social media, please turn off your videos now. And we're going to talk today about beaches. So we've got people out and about. We have Bruno in the west, Charlie's in the central and John in the east. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about the Algarve to start with, for those of you that might not know it. So the Algarve's about 120 kilometres long. And it's got lots and lots of nice beaches along two roads. We've got the A22, which is the main motorway road, and then we have the 125, which is a smaller road, a little bit busier. I mean, you don't get a lot of traffic here anyway, so everywhere you want to go to, you can get to quite easily. It's also signposted as well off the 125, so any beach that is close by will be a little brown sign, so you know that you're coming across a beach. And you can just nip down there, and I assure you, you'll go down a little lane and you'll get to the most amazing beach, because they all are quite amazing. It's made into three sections. So we have the west, the central, and the east. And there's lots of caves in the central and the west, and lots of different boat trips. You can see dolphins. It's a really good trip to go on the dolphins. Dolphin watch. You go out on a little speedboat, see the caves, and people are looking out for the dolphins. You get a radio call and you go, and it's unbelievable. Dolphins jumping around the boat and everything. It's really, really good. We also have good fishing, like little fishing trips and things like that. So it's a great seaside place to be. So when we look at the west, which we're going to first, we've got some large beaches and small beaches there. We have Lagos Beach, Port de Mos Beach, Donna Maria, that is voted the best in Europe quite a few times. When we get to the central, we've also got some long beaches like Gale, Salgados, Felicia, really open, wide beaches, but then we also have some nice little coves as well, such as Evaristo. Evaristo is quite a popular beach where people come on a Sunday in the boats, and the restaurants send out a little boat to fetch them in, and they have Sunday lunch on the beach. So there's a lot of nice places to go. We also then go over to the east. In the east, it's a little different. Some beaches are straight on the resort, but some you have to get a little boat to, and you go over to little islands. The beaches are flatter, there's not as many cliffs there, but still really beautiful. You'll get like the island of Tavira, which is, you get a boat over to really long stretchy beach. But then you'll have something like Fabrica, which is a tiny beach with just a restaurant on it and a boat that takes you over to a beach. So there's a lot of variety all along the coast. You get to Montegordo, long stretch of beach, and that's just before you get over to the border of Spain. If you go over to the border over to Spain, you've got Isla Canela, which is an island just over there, very much like Florida. If anybody's been to Florida, long, flat, white beaches, very wide. And so there's a massive variety here, all within like an hour and a half's drive from one end to the other, I would say. So first of all, we're going to go over to Bruno. And Bruno's in the west, and he's going to tell us about the beach he's at today and about the beaches in the west. Hi, Bruno.
Hello, Angela. How are you doing today? So today I'm in Alvor. This is on a beach called Prainha. On the other side we have Alvor Beach, and this side we have Alvor Prainha, where we have an amazing restaurant, and it's the beach that I normally go, so for me it's the best, of course. This one is a small beach, and basically it's different from any beach on the Algarve. I'm outside of the beach just to let you see where I am at the moment. Basically, we can see the most part of the Algarve here. You can see Lagos on the end, all that area. And basically, I started here to show you this one is inside of a condominium. And
can you shout up a bit, Bruno, please?
This beach is different than all the others. That's why I'm outside, just you can see the difference between the others. This one we have to get in by a lift. They have a lift on the rock that takes you directly to the restaurant of the beach, and you can go straight to the beach. This is really quiet here. Because it's a small beach, you cannot even feel the wind. On days that you've got wind, you cannot even feel the wind. But it's perfect for people that are in holidays. This is a perfect secret because not everyone knows about this beach. Not even a lot of Portuguese don't know about this beach. This is a quiet to the inside of the condominium, but everyone can get access. For instance, this one is the entry of the lift. We have a security guy, so they say that it's bad in Portugal with Corona. No, here the people got they are prepared to the virus. So even to enter here, we have to give the name because there are not a lot of people on the beach here. Okay. And probably I'm going to lose the connection now, so it's better.
Okay, we'll see you in a minute, Bruno.
I don't know if you can still see it because basically I'm going inside and we have a lift. I don't know if you can see it, but probably I'm going to lose the connection.
This is a lovely restaurant. I've been myself and it is a really unique, nice restaurant. Lots of nice seafood. But there's also beaches along the west and the central where you've got, you can just get to by boat, that you can't get there any other way. And you get the little fishermen that will take you on their boats for, say, €20 for five if you're five or a head up sometimes. It's really cheap. He'll drop you off at a beach for the day, take all your picnic stuff, and you're there, you've got the beach to yourself, and he'll come back and fetch you at the end of the day. And it's really good. I mean, also he'll take you on a cave trip, like I say, and they'll take you inside the caves and the little fishing boats. So it's very interesting. It's a really, really nice coastline. And I'm sure Bruno right now is on his way up in the lift. So what's he's actually done is he's gone through the rocks into a lift, and the lift is now taking him up to the restaurant that is in the cave. So it's like cut out of the side of the rocks. So it's very unique, really nice restaurant. Lovely views of the sea. Have we lost him? There he is. Okay. Can we unmute Bruno? There we go. Hi, Bruno. You come out of your lift.
Yes.
You need to shout because you're very quiet.
Hello. Yeah, because the bar has some music as well. You can see it's one of the best ones. Basically, the restaurant is made on the rock as well, like the lift. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, for me, it's one of the best restaurants on the Algarve. So it's Caniço restaurant. And I'm going just to take you to the beach to see the amazing beach that we have here.
Lovely.
Full of cliffs. They do 3 parties a year here as well for people that like parties. And normally they do weddings on this restaurant as well. As you can see, it's not a crowded beach. It's small, but everyone got their own spot to be.
The distancing.
Yeah. And it's, for me, it's one of the best beaches in the Algarve. It's so quiet, and at the moment it's so hot here.
Yes, it is a hot day today.
Inside of the beach, but you have lovely cliffs.
Beautiful. Stunning. Are you going for a paddle?
Probably after probably I'm going to go for a swim.
They see the restaurant.
This one is called Prainha. Basically, it's between Alvor and Portimão, and it's one of the best, as you can see it.
Yes, very picturesque.
It's different from all the others that I normally go during the summer, because even during the summer we have always a spot to be here. And by the look, so many people inside of the water should be really nice today. So.
Okay, thank you very much, Bruno. Have you got anything to add?
No, I just want to tell everyone that you should be in Portugal to enjoy this weather and this lovely beach. Thank you very much. Speak to you later.
Thank you, Bruno.
Bye.
Okay, so we're going to move over to Charlie now. Charlie's in the central and I do believe Morra area. Hi, Charlie.
Hi, so I'm in Morra. So Morra is probably one of my favourite places along the Algarve because there's lots of bars and things. I'm just near the casino and I'm just next to, I don't know if you can see it, but the Tivoli Hotel, the Tivoli on the marina. So that's one of the classiest hotels there is in the Algarve, I think. Villa Morra is just really good because it's really close to Faro Airport, so you can get to Faro in about 15 minutes in an Uber. There's lots to do, and obviously Villa Morra is right next to the Golden Triangle, so Quinta del Lago, Valdelobo. Just next to Villa Morra, you've got Quarteira, which is a bit more traditional, a bit more Portuguese. You can get food there, like a meal for under €10 with a drink. And then Villa Morra is very popular with holidays. So I'll just show you the beach and then we can have a walk around some bars and things.
It's a hot day, isn't it, Charlie?
Yes, it's boiling, and I forgot my sunglasses because I just rushed out the office. But as you can see, people are social distancing, so they're sat across the table from each other, but there's music on. It's like Portuguese music. Everyone's drinking in the bars. And then if you walk up there, you've got a couple of restaurants and more bars. The clubs and bars and things aren't really open, but they are allowing you to open for snacks and drinks. So it's mostly the restaurants that are open. So here we've got a couple of lovely developments. One's near the central marina, and the other one is just off the back of the golf course. So it's really good to buy a rental investment here because you're going to get a lot of income because it's very popular with tourists.
Golfer's paradise as well, Villa Morra, yeah?
Yeah, Villa Morra is good for any age as well. You've got a lot of young people. There's also a lot of boat parties that leave Villa Morra, like you mentioned, the dolphins. I did it on my birthday in July last year. I'll probably end up doing it this year. So you can go on a lot of boat trips here. You can go and play tennis. You can play volleyball on the beach. They have a lot of Facebook groups where you can go and meet other expats or tourists or even people that live here that just want to meet people that speak the same language and so on. So a lot of people live in Villa Morra, but it's also a very popular holiday destination. So what I like about, yeah?
You don't need to speak Portuguese either, do you?
No,
all the Algarve.
Yeah, you get respect if you do, if you order a Vino Branco and Frango, but they can understand you if not. So I like Villa Morra Beach because the sea is quite calm, if you want to say it like that, and the beach, like the sand is really soft. So on some beaches you get some stones and shells, but on Villa Morra Beach you really don't. So in the summer, over there in the distance there's Puro Beach, and that's where they have like house parties, like house music. There's a pool in the middle in the club just behind it, so you can go sit by the pool, order your drinks. There's table service, so you don't need to move, they come to you. And that's the Crown Plaza. That's another really good hotel. And then you've got the Dom Pedro Hotel over there where you can go and play golf as well, and the Tivoli's just over there.
Excellent. Spend a lot of time there, do you, Charlie?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do spend a lot of time in Villa Morra because I live in Almondstil and I work in Villa Sol, obviously. So Villa Morra is about €4 from work to go in an Uber, and then you can go and have dinner. The other day, me, Megan and Stacey got a dinner. We had 2 cocktails each, a full meal, and we split the bill, and it was €30, so it was a tenner each. So
excellent.
It was perfect. It's very nice and relaxing here.
Brilliant, Charlie. Have you got anything more to add?
No, if you've got any questions about Villa Morra, I can definitely answer them for you because I spend a lot of time here.
Thank you. So yes,
Thank
if anybody's got any questions, please do put them on chat and we'll try and answer them now. But we're going to go over now to John, see if we can get John. John's in the east. Hello, John. Have we lost you?
Hello.
Hi, John.
How are you?
Good, good. We can't see you, but we can hear you.
That's probably better not to see me.
You weren't to see the beach, though. There we go.
There we go. Well, you're joining me today. I bought my sunglasses. Well, actually, they're Charlie's. You're joining me in the Eastern Algarve. What can I say about the Eastern Algarve? Well, Eastern Algarve is different to the Central. It's different from the West. All of the Algarve it varies. The great thing about the Eastern Algarve, you're on the border, and anybody who's not geographically aware, we're on the southern tip of Portugal. The southern tip of Portugal, southern tip of Portugal, obviously gets good weather. At the moment, we're averaging 32 degrees centigrade.
Quite windy, John. We
It's
can't
quite
hear
windy.
you.
We're just clean around the corner at 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So nice and hot. We've been over the last couple of weeks. Now I'm going to turn this round to show you something pretty special. This is the Eastern Algarve. Now, I think I will say we leave the best till last.
Wow.
You can see that. This is what you're missing. This is what we call the Ria Formosa. And then we're just on the border of Spain. We're near the very quaint village of Cabanas, and this is tidal. So you can actually walk out, as people as you can see now, can walk out there. But later on this afternoon, that will be covered, and it will be a different outlook completely. As I say, this is what we call Casella Velia. It's a little courtyard. There's restaurants here, church, and it's famous for oysters. If anybody likes the oysters, they've got their own oyster bays down there. And if you go a bit further on the other side of Tavira, you've got Santa Lucia. Santa Lucia is famous for octopus. And if you've never tried octopus, try it in Portugal. You will love it, I promise you. It's not stringy elastic bands, it's beautiful. And
Yeah, we go there quite often to a restaurant there, and we can have octopus in 20 ways.
That's it. You can even have an octopus burger. That's probably Casa de Polvo. There's a few special restaurants there, but this place is special.
Sorry, John, your hands over the camera a little bit.
Is that better?
That's better, yeah, thank you.
Anyway, this is about 5-10 minutes from the border of Spain, Guadiana River. You've got the bridge that takes you over. And if you want to try something different, you can do the zip line from Spain into Portugal and come back in time. So you actually start off an hour earlier and come back an hour later and come back an hour earlier. Zip lines available. You whip over the bridge, go over to Spain now. Ayacanela, as you mentioned earlier. And this is the square at Ayacanela. And then if I can just get round here, you'll see the Spanish border in the distance. And this is the local GNR building, the police. And then that's Rio San Antonio. And if you like really long beaches, the long beach is Praia Verde. That takes you to Castro Marine. And then anybody that likes the golf, you've got Castro Marine Golf, you've got Quintaria, Quintacima, Seve Ballesteros is, Monterey, one of the best golf courses in Portugal. And then, why don't you come here and look at that? And if you can see that, it's stunning, absolutely stunning. And I'm sorry, Bruno, this is a better beach. Yours is lovely, but this is stunning. But we all have our favourites, and as I say, Morra is great, the West is great, but they are all very much different. So you can go here and have long sandy beaches, coves, rocks, and then you've got everything. So one of the great things to do is come to the east, try the east. Central is great for more golfing, although there's lots of golf courses here. And the west is great for property rentals, great. But honestly, the Algarve is a place to come to. If you've never been here, it's got so much to offer. And as you mentioned earlier, go over on a boat to the islands from Olial. You've got Il Calatra, Armona, Deserta, Faro Island. Here you've got Tavira Island. You can walk over to Tavira Island and just go over there. No cars, just restaurants and beautiful sandy beaches like this. Not to be missed. And as I said, on the southern tip of Portugal, about 2 hours from Lisbon, Porto further up on the northern side. But the great thing about the Algarve is the weather. You've got the weather constantly, 360 days of the year here, you get sunshine. So why not give it a try? You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, it's like being, when you get on the islands as well over there, it's like being in Caribbean, isn't it? You feel like it's surrounded by shallow water. And
yeah, I mean, if you list now, if I'd said to you, where are you? You'd never guess you're in the Algarve. You'd think you're in the Caribbean. That's what it's like. It really is. Blue crystal water down there. And you just go out. And if you like clams, go and pick your own clams. Because when the tide's out, everyone goes out and clam picks. So pork and clams, lovely dish, simple. Garlic, white wine, pork, little bits of strips of pork and the clams. Bung it all together, cook it, and you've got the most amazing dish.
Excellent. Yeah, I like my favourite seafood actually in the Algarve, and you don't really see it anywhere else, is the sebs.
I'm not sure about that. I'm trying them. I'm not sure.
I love them.
Yeah, it's very salty.
Taste of the sea.
Yeah, you get them on the west side more.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you get the caves.
Yeah. They're very well. You have to try them. You have to try them.
They're my favourite.
Santa Lucia, try the octopus there, because I promise you, you will not believe what octopus can taste like. Because I eat anything, but I thought octopus, I'm not sure. And I went there about 5-8 years ago now, and I just couldn't believe. And I often go there now, but 3 times a month I pop over and have something to eat there. And again, just to show you the beaches here, and just further along this beach, you've got Ria and Kinta golf course, and you actually play down to the golf from the golf course to the beaches like this. This is what your view is. Not to be missed. And then if you're thinking about property, Cabanas has a few really nice apartments we are actually selling at the moment with lovely rooftops, and you can look down on the rooftop terraces to similar views to this. And there's a house just on the right hand side further down here. It's owned by Al Gore. So today, Al Gore actually owns a house. Just, if you see it there, it's the brown one in the distance. Brown, right on the beach. And that's Al Gore's. There's a fact for you. There you go.
A lot of wildlife as well, a lot of birds we get to stalk, and flamingos.
Yes, and the thing is that this is all protected, so you can't build here. This is limited. This just, you will not be able to build anything here. This will be here. So you've got tourism mixed with the nature, and that's what I love about Portugal. You know, they think about planning and building, and you know, there's a limited amount of building that goes on here, and that's why property prices are high, but they always go up in price.
Excellent. And the property there is a little bit cheaper than the rest of the Algarve, isn't it still, John?
You can generally find in Cabanas you can buy a good 2-bedroom apartment with a roof terrace, about 250 upwards, 250,000 euros. There are some cheaper ones, but to get a good roof terrace is important. Where the central can be a little bit more Villamor, is, dare I say, a little bit more upmarket, but fantastic place. But it depends. What everyone's different. If you want hustle and bustle and great life, the Eastern Algarve is quieter. A lot of Scandinavians come here. They love it in the winter, because it's so peaceful. And as you say, the wind, there's a bit of a wind today, but I can hear the birds chirping in the background. And then that's the square down to Castella Vella, and then there's restaurants, and there's a lovely restaurant on the left of the roof terrace. Well worth coming. And also Picasso's relation with Picasso owns a house just across the back here. Another useless piece of information from me.
Thanks, John. We're just going to go over to Charlie now. We're going back to Charlie for a little while.
Hello. So just wanted to give an overview of what we've been doing at Ideal Homes recently. So I think we've had over 18 sales in the last 2 weeks. And I just wanted to say that three quarters of those were virtually. So if you can't get here, you know, maybe from the US, or you might be from the UK and you're a bit worried about the quarantining, if you're buying as a rental investment or even as a holiday home, we can do it all virtually. So Ideal Homes, we can manage everything from the rentals, getting your mortgage sorted. We can put you in touch with a lawyer, tax expert, currency exchange. So you don't really need to be here. Obviously, it's different if you're looking for your relocation home, but if it's for a rental investment, you just really need us to send you the figures, let you know the rental yield you're going to bring in, and then, you know, the numbers speak for themselves. If it's a holiday home you're looking for, we can do a virtual tour or a FaceTime video for you. And if you are to buy now, you're more likely to get a good deal because the vendors might still need some cash flow. But if you're to wait until everything's completely back to normal, you probably won't get a discount. So one of my clients recently, because they were a bit worried about flying to Portugal because we weren't on the UK list, they just got a flight to Seville and then drove over the border, and that's fine. So what would you say about that, Angela?
Yeah, it's a good idea. Seville's only 2.5 hours away from the centre of the Algarve, so it's not far really. If you're going to the east, it's only about 1.5 hours away, so it's quite an easy airport to use.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to buy in the east or even central or anywhere across the Algarve, if you were to fly to Seville, we could definitely find you or help you find a transfer service or let you know how to get here. But Portugal, I think, has done so well. So, you know, the healthcare is amazing. So the fact that we've not been included in the UK list is a bit, it's weird.
I'm not sure if that hadn't changed again. I
yeah,
think it changed by the day.
probably will. We've been signing the petition. We want people over here. So but if you can't get here, you can buy virtually and we can show you the property from start to finish.
And like you say with the virtual now, especially sometimes, I mean, if you're buying on off-plan property as well, we show you the area virtually. I mean, there's not much to see if it's not started to be built or whatever. So it's about the figures adding up and knowing you're buying something that's going to be a good investment and in a good place. So it saves you the journey and the expense anyway. I think it's something going forward that will probably take on, and we'll probably do a lot more virtual tours going forward than we've ever done before, because people have got used to it and they understand that you can eliminate as well as see what you want just by sitting at home and watching it, which is good as well, because then if you do come out, you're not wasting time looking at things that you know would not be down your alley kind of thing. So it is the way to go.
And if you're to buy an off-plan property, you're going to make more money eventually when you sell it, because you bought it off-plan as an idea. We can get the lawyer to do all the checks and everything. We never sell anything that's, you know, not, you know, going to work out for you. But if you're to buy off-plan, if in 5 years or 10 years you want to sell it, you're going to make a profit along with the rental income that you've brought in.
Yes, definitely. I'm just going to switch over to Bruno, see if we can hear you. You need to shout out, Bruno.
Hello, Angela.
Hello.
Hello, Angela.
Hi. Someone's asking about Bagao, Salima and Sagres. Can you tell us a little bit about them, but you need to shout.
Yes, Burgao, basically that beach is on really on the west side of the Algarve, on the end. Portugal is a small beach, it's really, really nice. To get fish, normally you get bigger fish and cheaper fish on that side of the Algarve, comparing with the rest of the Algarve. But it's really, we have so many good beaches in the Algarve that it's difficult to decide. I go to this one, I love this one, Prainha in Alvor, because I live just nearby. But when I have time, normally the one of the beaches that I go is Burgao, because it's a lovely beach as well. Because there are so many, it's the only thing is to choose which one you want. But that beaches are just after on the end of Lagos. Burgao is just on the end of Lagos, and the other one is between Lagos and Sagres.
Yeah, Bagao has a lot of tourists, doesn't it? It's like a very quaint little village. But then when you look at Sagres is much quieter. There's not quite as many tourists or as much there, is there?
Burgao is getting bigger. Actually, we have a really nice condominium starting there, with one bed apartment with terrace with jacuzzis for 220. That is really, really nice because you have a sea view and you can walk to the beach of Burgao. That for me is also one of the best. But the Algarve is small, but that each person needs to see it, which one he prefers. John was saying that he preferred the east. I love the east, but there's so many that we can choose. That is, the thing is, you have to come here to see which one is better for you.
Do you know anything about Coimbra? Someone's asking how the beaches in the east differ from around Coimbra. I don't actually know Coimbra.
Coimbra as a river. It doesn't have a beach, but Coimbra is known by the best university in Portugal. But it's north of Portugal. The beach is nearby. You don't have in Coimbra, but nearby for 45 minutes you can go to a beach there. But the water is a lot colder than here. It's 7-8 degrees colder than here. Normal people from Coimbra, they come for when they do holidays, they come to the Algarve to come to the beach here. The weather there is different than the Algarve. On the south of Portugal, the weather is a lot better compared with the north of Portugal. But Coimbra is a lovely city, you know. Its characteristic is one of the most renowned cities in Portugal. But it's known more by the universities and as a river that crosses Coimbra. That is really nice. We have also nearby, we have also Aveiro, that we call the Venice of Portugal. It has also a river that people can walk on the boats there. It's lovely. A lot of people from outside Portugal, they live there. But if you want beach and if you want hot weather, you should be on the Algarve.
I agree, totally. Yes, I think...
if you didn't went there, especially to Aveiro, you need to go there, Angela. It's really, really nice to go there. You have to go there at least once. But to live, I prefer the Algarve. I'm from Lisbon, and my family from the Algarve. As soon as I get to 18, I decide to come to the Algarve because I like the sunshine. And here we have sunshine almost every day, so.
Yeah, July and August as well, that's where everybody holidays. So we get everybody from Porto and Lisbon. They all come down to spend July and August here.
Yeah, especially this year, all the Portuguese are taking holidays in the Algarve. They are not going to the other countries. They said that Portugal is not good enough, but we see the numbers in Portugal. We can't compare with any of the countries in Europe or in the world because we are one of the countries that has less cases of corona. And as you can see this year, the Algarve got a lot less people than usual. So it's even better for people that want to take the holidays. It's even better to come here.
Thank you, Bruno.
You're welcome.
Has anybody got any more questions?
I just wanted to talk about Coimbra and Lisbon compared to the Algarve because I've got a lot of clients that are currently living in Coimbra because they bought there a while ago and they liked it when they were buying because of how traditional it was and you know, lots to do, and it's quite old and typically Portuguese. But we've got a lot of people that are looking to buy here now because they just didn't realise how cold it was up there. It's like in the UK if you were to purchase in Bournemouth as opposed to at the top of Scotland. So if you just use that as like a bit of a reference, then you know, I think in Portugal the best place to buy rental investment is obviously the Algarve because you've got the holiday makers here, but it's also a nice place to live. Like I'm a city girl from London. When I came to Portugal a year ago, I was here for 3 weeks on holiday. And then I was like, yep, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to find a job. And then I found Ideal Homes and that's just how it happened. I never thought that I could live on the coast because I thought I'd be bored, but there's always things to do and I'm always exploring. Coimbra's good, but you're most likely going to get a long-term rental client, maybe for someone that's going to one of the universities that Bruno's mentioned. So it just depends what you're looking for, really. If you want traditional, a Portuguese place where it might be colder, or if you're looking to make money, or if you want the sunshine. So
I think also the language makes a difference. In the Algarve, you don't need to speak Portuguese, and if you're like me, I will never ever be able to learn Portuguese. I've tried very hard, and it is a very difficult language. And further north you go, more you have to speak the language to be able to communicate. Whereas down in the Algarve, everybody does speak English.
yeah,
It's nice to learn a little bit and be able to say the niceties, but it's easy to live when people do understand what you're saying, and people find it difficult understanding me normally with my Yorkshire accent. You know, but the Portuguese do get me, and I actually live in the countryside with the Portuguese community, and most of my friends are Portuguese, so it's easy to mix in round here. I once did look at moving up to a place called Tomar, which again, like you say, is really traditional and really nice. But when I really investigated it, it was much colder. I had to learn the language, which I know I'll never be able to do. And so I decided, the Algarve were definitely the place for me.
I think the thing to do for anyone that's kind of toying with the Coimbra or Lisbon idea is to genuinely go up there and spend a week there in the winter, and then you'll see. And if you spend half the week there and then spend half the week in the Algarve, you'll see that during the daytime in the Algarve it's a lot warmer, but still at the top it's really not. There's a quite a ferocious breeze. It's a lovely and traditional, and we can get you a property there as well, but we're just trying to maximise your profitability if you're going to buy rent investment or find your best holiday home.
Okay, John, has John got anything to add?
No, I think we've covered everything. I mean, you just got to come over, haven't we? Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yep. Come over, I'll do a one-on-one. You'll be able to hear a little bit better, and you'll be able to see what suits you more. So we do it more personal. So it could be John will take you to the places that you've told him, the kind of things that you like and want to see. So a one-on-one virtual tour is ideal.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not just selling the property. You've got to sell the place. Well, not sell the place. You've got to be happy with it. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
So, you know, one person likes, the other person won't like. So that's our job. That's what I do. I try and find the property, find the place. And it's not just taking you to an apartment or a villa. It's about taking you to places like this. And you can go, wow, this is nice.
It's about, yeah, ideally, it's like, you know, let's have a chat with you over the phone. Let's listen to what it is you're looking for, what kind of lifestyle that you're wanting, or what kind of holiday home you want, what you do in your spare time, the property style that you like. And then we get down to a virtual tour after we've listened to that and been able to find those places that suit you, so that we're not showing you things that aren't relevant to you.
Exactly. And too often, I hear sort of stories. People look at properties and they're not what they want. You think, well, we're wasting everybody's time. We look at it, look at what you like, learn from what you don't like, and learn from what you like as well. And then we find that property.
We've lost you, John. We lost your sound. But it looks stunning. If anybody's got any questions, if you go on to chat and you type it in on chat, we will be able to answer your questions. Is everybody all right with chat? If you see at the bottom of your screen, it says chat. If you click onto there and you can type a question. Okay. You also can walk for miles on some of these beaches as well, along the cliffs. It's a nice afternoon just having a stroll around the cliffs and all the long beaches. It's really interesting. Has anybody else got anything to add? Have we got any questions? Bruno, did you say you wanted to add something?
Yes, Angela, you were talking about Portugal, and Portugal, I forgot to say that is known by the Portuguese Santorini. So the Portuguese that cannot go to Greece this year, they are coming to Portugal because it's similar to Santorini, and it's a perfect place to stay as well. For someone that doesn't know Portugal, they need to be there. It's quite cozy. You can walk everywhere, and it's really, really nice. It's really, really
yeah,
nice.
I like Portugal. I think it's a nice.
Soon as you can, yeah, soon as you can come to Portugal, you have to see so many cities, because all of them, for instance, where I am now, it's between Alvor and Portimão. Portimão is a big city. Alvor is a fishing village. Is completely different, and in a matter of 3 miles, you have completely different things. So it's time to get on a plane and come to Portugal to see what you like.
Excellent, thank you, Bruno. We've got a question about, do we have any properties currently available within walking distance to a beach for virtual tours? Yes, certainly do. We will get someone to send you an email, but we are going to put on the phone numbers and the emails for you to contact us directly as well. So if you're wanting a virtual tour, get in contact with us and we will be able to organise that for you, no problem. There's lots of properties here, lots of variety, some walking distance, some not so much, but there is quite a variety. And someone's asking about Morra Beach. Morra Beach is where Charlie is right now, and it's a lovely beach. And I know sometimes they have all the lounges out, the proper lounges like settees and things, don't they, Charlie? It's quite upmarket, but then you've also got the other side where you can have your own towel and what have you. And it's right next to the marina, so you literally just walk from the beach round the corner and you're in the marina.
Yeah, so yeah, when Angela said, can you run over to Villamoura Beach and do a little webinar, I was like, yeah, okay, because I feel comfortable here. This is where I started in Albufeira when I first got here, and then gradually I moved over to Villamoura, and now work in Villa Sol, live in Almondsville. I quite often go to Valdelobo Beach and Quinta do Lago and Villamoura, so I come here for drinks, for cocktails, for meals. You can get any kind of food, Portuguese food, Italian, Chinese, whatever, but the beach is really nice.
Oh, we've lost you, Charlie.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, so in the summer you've got a lot of famous DJs that come over, and they normally come to Villamoura area, around the central. So I think this is a good place. Like if my friends want to come on holiday from the UK, I'll say meet me in Villamoura, because it's very fun, there's lots to do.
Can you show us how soft and white that sand is?
Definitely. I've got loads in my shoes. I wasn't prepared for that.
We don't want to see your feet. Beautiful.
Lovely.
Everybody needs to get their feet in that sand as soon
But not
as
with these
possible.
shoes on.
Okay. We don't seem to have any more questions. As details, phone number and emails are on the chat, and we will be contacting you all to see if you need further information. So please don't hesitate to get in touch, and we hope we will see you all here soon. And look
Thanks,
out for
everyone.
next webinars. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.